Beth Long here for Fox Sports Next with Chris Emma, Purple Wildcats. We're out here on Ryan Field after a just heartbreaking loss for Northwestern. And one thing that comes to mind is the fourth quarter. I mean, Northwestern learned after the game it was the biggest comeback in Nebraska history in the fourth quarter. Northwestern just happened to be the victim of that comeback. What happened in the fourth quarter?
Yeah, it's the biggest comeback for Nebraska. I think Northwestern fans are used to it by this point. Another fourth quarter collapse. You know, asked Fitz about that in the postgame press conference, and he said it's not a mental thing at this point. It's just lack of execution. They're not getting the job done. They're not making the plays to put the game away. And, you know, there's a few times this year where, you know, Syracuse game, they were able to do it, put it away. A few other times how Vanderbilt, Boston College were able to close it out. You thought maybe the jinx of the Cardiac Cats is over, but we saw it again. You got to make plays. You got to get the interception in the fourth quarter. You have a chance to put it away. Instead, the drive continues. It's a Nebraska touchdown. Just things like that you end up regretting in the long run. You know, Fitz said it best. And, you know, you do things like that, you let teams stay alive. The football gods are going to strike you with lightning, and lightning struck pretty good. It got him pretty good today. So another heartbreaking loss for Northwestern fans, and this one obviously hurts the team more so than it's the second loss now. It's a loss to a division rival who now is in the driver's seat for the Big Ten title game. So this one hurts for Northwestern really badly.
Another thing we have to touch on is the use of Kane Coulter and Trevor Sidney. Everyone expected coming into this game that Kane Coulter would be the one that got most of the nods and most of the plays today. Didn't seem to be the case. Why was that, you think, Chris?
I couldn't tell you. I expected them to utilize Kane a lot more in the game plan than they did, and this was kind of a non-factor. Fitz alluded to the fact that Nebraska was stuffing up the box. I give John Papuchis a lot of credit for his decisions. They had 8 and 9 even at some points when Kane was out there as a quarterback, because he only threw the ball 2 times. You know, when he's out there, he's going to be running the ball. When Simeon's out there, he's going to be passing the ball. Nebraska was ready for it, and Kane was just a non-factor. Where last year he was the playmaker that changed the game and helped earn the wins. So Nebraska was ready this time around, and they had a week off to game plan for it. And obviously Northwestern kind of ran with a similar blueprint as what Ohio State did with Braxton Miller as a mobile quarterback, and it worked for Ohio State. Nebraska was ready for it today. They made the adjustments from 2 weeks ago, and they got the job done. So you got to give Nebraska a lot of credit for that.
So at this point, Northwestern is already bowl eligible. One would like to think maybe still in the running for that Big Ten division title, but where do they go from here? Just what is the next step for the Wildcats?
Well, yeah, the good thing for Northwestern is that the Big Ten is kind of wide open this year, and you know, this doesn't put them out of it, but it puts them behind. As Kane Coulter said, you know, they don't control their own destiny anymore. Nebraska does, so it gets tough now. You got Iowa, and then you got at Michigan State. That's not an easy stretch now, and you're 2 losses deep in the Big Ten. Things are going to get more difficult from here. So, yeah, players all said it, Fitz said it. You got to flush it. You got to move on. You know, they were able to do that after the Penn State game with help from a Minnesota team that's just not what the level of some of these other teams. So you got to try to move on. Iowa's going to be hungry next week. So, I mean, as Fitz has said before, you can't let a team beat you twice. They got to adjust and move on.
Well, make sure you stay on Purple Wildcats and Fox Sports Next as Chris and I wrap up things from here at Ryan Field.